Hey guys, welcome again to the Maths Club. If you're just joining us, welcome. For some time, we were looking at modular arithmetic. Talked about what is modular arithmetic, congruence, how to add, how to subtract, and now we're in how to multiply, right, in modular arithmetic. So if you're just joining us and you've not seen any of those videos, you should check the pop-up that will appear at the top right. So modular arithmetic, just as always, we use questions to be able to understand what the concept is all about. So the first question we're going to look at is, what is the result of 8 times 4 in mode 3? The result of 8 times 4 in mode 3. You know, we said something about modular arithmetic. It's more of dealing with remainders, right? Remainders. So let's go. 8 multiplied by 4 in mode 3. So normally 8 times 4 is what? Is 32, right? This is 32, right? So 32. We want to convert that 32 to a value in mode 3, right? So what do? We just divide by the mode that we're dealing with. So the mode we're dealing with is 3. So 32 divided by 3, that is what? That is 10, right? With a remainder of what? Of 2. Because our remainder is 2, this value 2 is 32 in mode 3, just as we've always been doing. So therefore, 8 times 4, right, in mode 3 is just equal to what? The remainder, which is what? 2 mode 3, right? And that's really it about it. Let's see if what we did is actually correct. Great. So we have 2 mode 3. Let's look at another question. This question is saying, find the result of 12 times 23 mode 8. You might want to pause the video and try it out yourself. Welcome back, right? So we have 12 times 23 in mode 8. Let's do that. So 12 times 23, right? Let's do the 2 times 3 is 6, 3 times 1 is 3, right? 2 times 2 is 4, 2 times 1 is 2, right? So by the time I add it, this will be 6, plus 3 plus 4 is 7, right? So this is 276, right? And we're dealing with it in mode 8. Yeah, so in mode 8. In mode 8. So let's divide this 276 by 8. 8 year 1, 8 in 27 is what? I think that is 3, right? Because 8 times 3 is 24. That means the remainder of 3, right? 8 in 36. The nearest number to 36 that is a multiple of 8 is 32, which is 8 times 4. So that is 4, right? That means there will be a remainder of what? We have 32, we have 36, so it's a remainder of what? Of 4, because 36 minus 32 is 4. So that means, therefore, 12 times 23, right, in mode 8 is just equal to what? The remainder, which is what? 4 mode 8, right? So that's basically, let's see if we're correct. 4 mode 8, right? So that's basically it. Multiplied and divide by the mode, and then the remainder will be your results in that particular mode. Now let's look at an advanced question, because these are the kind of questions that you'll be seeing in the theory part of your WAEC or of your school exam, right? More of deduction, right? Not just basic multiplication. So this question says, copy and complete the following table for multiplication modulo 11, right? So we are having values 1, 5, 9, 10 and 1, 5, 9, 10. Just always look at this line, this vertical, and then the horizontal, right? Just look at that one. All of these things is the results when we do our multiplication. This is what we're going to get, right? They've already helped us to fill this first row and then this other column, right? So now we want to reproduce this table. So the first thing that we have to reproduce the table. So this is what we have. We have the 1, 5, 9, 10 here, and we have the 1, 5, 9, 10 here. Just like it is appearing in the question, right? These are the major points that we're looking at. So let's see. We are dealing with this in mode 11. So let me put the mode somewhere here so that it will be like a guide. Mode 11. Great. So what we do is that for this particular thing, right, this particular point is intersection of this line and this line, right? This is where the both meet. So I will multiply 1 by 1, this one by this one to get the value here. So 1 by 1 in mode 11, right, to still be 1 because it's not up to 11 or greater than 11. 1 times 5 is still 5. 1 times 9 is still 9. 1 times 10 is still 10, right, because it's less than the mode that we're dealing with. 5 times 1 is still 5. 5 times 5 is 25. 25 is greater than our mode, right? So what will I do? I'll just come here and say 25 divided by 11. If I divide 25 by 11, it will go how many times? 2 times, right? Because 11 times 2 is 22 with the remainder of 3. So as always, the remainder that we'll put here. 5 times 9, that is 45. That's greater than 11. So that will be 45 divided by 11. 45 divided by 11 is what? 4. What? With the remainder of what? 11 times 4 is 44. So remainder of 1. So that means I'm putting 1 here. 5 times 10 is 50, greater than 11. So I'll have to do the same thing again. 50 divided by 11, right? This is what? How many times can 50 divide 11? That will be 4 times, right? Because 11 times 4 is 44. The remainder of 6. As always, I'll put the remainder here, right? So 9 times 1, right? This is where they intersect. 9 times 1 is 9, less than 11. So I'll put it here. 9 times 5 is 45. We already have 45 already here with the remainder of 1. So I'll just put the 1 here. 9 times 9 is 81, right? So 81 divided by 11. This is going to give me 7, right? Because 7 times 11 is 77. With the remainder of what? The remainder of 4, right? So I'll put the remainder here, which is 4. 9 times 10 is 90. So 90 divided by 11, that will give me 8 with the remainder of what? With the remainder of 2, right? Because 11 times 8 is 88. That means to remain 2 for it to make 90. So this value is 2. 10 times 1 is still 10. 10 times 5 is 50. We've done 50 here before, so there was a remainder of 6. 10 times 9 is 90, right? So that means this guy would come in. That would be a remainder of 2. And 10 times 10 is 100. This 10 times this 10 is 100, because that's what will give us this value here. That will be 100 divided by 11. Right? That will be 9, right? Because 11 times 9 is 99 with the remainder of 1, right? So this is our value here. So this is where we're able to complete our table. So if you compare with what they had in the question, they gave us this first row and this first row, right? 1 times 1, 1 times 5, 1 times 9, 1 times 10, 5 times 1, 5 times 5. That's how we actually did the whole thing. So if you compare, this was where they gave us this value and this value as a guide, right? So now the question now says that we should do some extrapolation, right? So let's see. It says use the table to evaluate 9 by 5, right? When you get that answer, you now multiply by what's the result from 10 by 10. So let's do it. Let's break it down. 9 by 5, right? Then multiplied by what? 10 times 10. Okay, so let's see. When we have 9 on this row, so let's see. We have the first one is 9 by 5, right? Yeah. So when we have 9 here, right, and we have 5 here, what do they intersect? They intersect at this point here. You can see this is the line from 9 and this is the line from 5. They intersect at this value. So the value when you multiply these two is going to give you 1, right? So this will be replaced by 1, right? And 10 by 10, we have 10 here. We have 10 here. Where the intersect is this one, right? So this is basically what we are doing. So if I move this up, right, that means when I resolve this, I'm going to have 1, right? Now when I resolve this, I'm going to have 1. So if you come back to our table again, 1 by 1, what is it going to give us? This is 1 and this is 1. So the value that it's going to give us is what? Is 1, right? So if I come to this place here, 1 by 1 is going to give me 1. That means that at the end of the day, when I use my table to evaluate all of this, right, it gave me 1. Right, so if anything is looking strange, you might want to replay the video over and over again, right, till you get it. Now the next question is saying that find the truth set of 10 by m equals to, that means what will I multiply by 10 in this my table, right, that will give me what? That will give me 2. You can see something said the truth set. When you say something is a set, you have a set of cutleries, right? A set of cutleries is not only one, it contains many other things. So there might be many things that will give me the value of 2. So it wants me to group all of them together inside this. So it says that we should find 10 by m is equal to 2. So let me write it down. So that will be 10 by m is equal to 2, right? Now, like I said before, it's a set. So in our diagram, what is multiplying 10, right, that will give a value of 2? So look at this is 10, right? So let me see. 10 by 1 is 10, 10 by 5 is 6, 10 by 9 is 2, 10 by 10 is 1. So it's only 10 by 9, right, that will give me a value of 2, right? So the solution for this is m is equal to, because it's a set, you just put it in the set representation, right? This is how we use curly brackets, right? So the only value that if I multiply by 10 will give me 2 is what? Is is 9, right? So it will be only 9, right? So if there were multiple values, it would have been something like maybe 9, 10, and 11, right? But in this case, it's only 9 that will give me what I want. So that is our answer for this particular case. Now, the other question there is what? What is n by n? What is the truth set of n by n that will give me 4? So what will multiply itself that will give me 4? The only time I have 4 really in this place there is when 9, right, multiplies 9, right? So that means therefore, right, so for the one for n by n, which is equal to 4, right, my n, the truth set is open brackets 9, right? So it's only 9 by 9 that will give me 4, right? That is the only time that two values are going to give me 4, right? So that's basically it about it. So with this, we have actually come to the end of multiplication. If you found this video useful, please like the video, subscribe to our channel so that you can be up to date with all of the amazing content we put out. And if you have any question, please comment. We would address all questions. In the next video, we'll be talking about WAEC past questions that contain modular arithmetic. See you then.